In only 5 short years, here's what the new UNC government has done to fight crime. Put 1,741 new full-time police officers on the street. Built new police stations in San Fernando East, San Juan Barataria, and 20 other locations. Established the E999 emergency response system. Executed major drug lords. Conducted 10,000 drug raids, resulting in 7,000 arrests. Trinidad and Tobago, you've come too far to turn back now. Vote UNC. In only 5 short years, here's what the new UNC government has done to improve our children's education. Abolished the common entrance exam to give every child a chance. Hired 1,600 new teachers. Standardized textbooks. Started construction on 14 new secondary schools. And reduced class sizes by 11% so each child gets more personal attention. Trinidad and Tobago, you've come too far to turn back now. Vote UNC. In only 5 short years, here's what the new UNC government has done for our economy. Slashed the inflation rate by 50%, created 60,000 new jobs and cut the unemployment rate in half, increased the old age pension 3 times, and established the first minimum wage in history. Now, the New York Times calls our country the region's foremost economic success story, while we say, Trinidad and Tobago, you've come too far to turn back now. Vote UNC.
You find the government performing, you find they doing okay. We've come too far, oh yes, oh yes. For the short time that they're in power, you feel they should stay right there. To turn back now, oh yes, oh yes. Everything getting better far as you see. You are satisfied with the ruling party. You know the opposition can't do better. Well, I have a suggestion. When they call the election, pull together your posse, just vote for UNC. If you care about your children's future and about their education, she's come too far, he's come too far. The amount of jobs we're creating for people throughout the land, we've come too far to turn back now. We increase old age pension, public transportation, look how we controlling crime, and we did it in such little time. We've come too far, UNC, to turn back now.
Yourselves a 5-year present for Christmas. Ham and bread and UNC for the Christmas. Vote UNC, aye, 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 aye. Less crime you will see, aye, 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 aye. For the children say, more job to create. So vote UNC, aye, 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 aye. We've come too far to turn back now. We've come too far to turn back now. More smooth roads we all want after Christmas. Plenty schools we all dancing for the Christmas. Vote UNC, aye, 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 aye. Less crime you will see, aye, 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 aye. For the children say, more job they create. So vote UNC, aye, 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 aye. We've come too far to turn back now. We've come too far to turn back now.
Aye, 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 vote UNC.
I am Mr. Patrick and I will be your driver.
The last time Patrick Manning was in the driver's seat, it took the country 5 years to recover. Now Manning wants to reverse our progress and take us back to a time when we had a higher murder rate than the US. Thousands of children were denied education by the common entrance exam, and thousands were out of work.
Next stop, 1991.
It's a trip we can't afford to take. Patrick Manning, what's he done to deserve a second chance?
You've made a lot of progress in the past 5 years, and Patrick Manning fought you every step of the way. Manning was against ending the common entrance exam. Manning opposed the policies that produced 60,000 new jobs.
This is no way to treat the father of the nation.
Manning attempted to delay hiring more teachers for primary schools, and Manning even tried to block construction of 14 new secondary schools. Patrick Manning, what has he done to deserve a second chance?
We've come a long way in only 5 short years. 60,000 new jobs, common entrance exam abolished, inflation cut in half, and old age pension almost doubled. Proof we're better off today than we were 5 years ago, but change in the country affects us in different ways. Meet Keith and Daphne. As election day approaches, Keith and Daphne will be confronting the same tough choices you do. Will Keith demand that Daphne vote PNM? Will Daphne persuade Keith to vote UNC? Will the marriage survive? Tune in this week. You won't want to miss Keith and Daphne. We join Keith and Daphne where there is some confusion regarding a big event 5 years ago.
Talum, I could tell by the look on your face you're thinking about that big day.
Yeah, even after 5 years, I'm still shocked and depressed.
Shocked and depressed?
Worst day of my life. Mr. Patrick called an election and lost.
Election? Election? I'm talking about our wedding anniversary.
Oh, yes, that's true. Both me and Mr. Patrick get a rude awakening that year, boy.
Listen, Mr. Balize for brains. Me and the UNC is the best thing that ever happened to you. 5 years ago, you didn't have me or a job. Now the UNC creating 60,000 new jobs. Even you will be working. Now, I am leaving.
Daphne, sorry, please, we'll do something special, okay?
Maybe you could call up Mr. Patrick.
All right.
Celebrate our anniversary by walking the Rottweiler.
60,000 new jobs are hard to miss, especially when you have one. Will Keith escape the doghouse, or will he celebrate his anniversary with the Rottweiler? Stunned by Daphne's reaction, Keith visits his father for advice.
Dad, Mom ever expect you to read her mind and get vexed when you didn't?
Son, every woman expects that.
Yeah, because Daphne vexed with me because I was worried about when Mr. Patrick lose the election. But she was thinking about when we got married.
Boy, you are the only man who plans on hugging Mr. Patrick on your anniversary.
Daddy, every year we have our anniversary, but it's not every year it is vote. Mr. Patrick needs our help. He running for victory.
Forget that $47 man. Go and try to make up with your wife.
Why you call Mr. Patrick a $47 man?
When Mr. Patrick was in power and I needed help, Mr. Patrick raised old age pension by $47. Now that the UNC is there, they have almost doubled that. I used to vote PNM, but don't think I've forgotten how to count.
First Daphne, now you. What am I going to do?
I don't know about you, son, but I've come too far to turn back now.
Dad won't turn back after UNC almost doubled his pension, but can Keith rush back in time to make up with Daphne? In his haste to get home, Keith meets UNC's new highway patrol.
I'm ruined. Soon we'll be squatting in a box. We cannot afford this UNC government.
What box, son? What happened now?
Oh, look, a policeman now give us that ticket for $200.
Us? Who was in the car with you?
Huh?
And what stupidness you do that cost $200?
Nothing. I was just passing a few cars on that new bridge that they built. But it was safe. I'm driving 15 years now.
And you driving bad for all 15?
I never get no ticket when Mr. Patrick was in power.
Sure, no tickets under PNM. Traffic laws optional under PNM. When Mr. Patrick in charge, most laws optional.
So what are you trying to say? You like getting tickets?
No, not my ticket. But why think the UNC government put 1,700 new full-time police on the street? To get something and wave when you drive crazy? The only police your Mr. Patrick put on the street was marching around the Red House.
Now the question is, will Keith need help from the UNC's new E999 service if he doesn't make peace with Daphne? Keith tries to apologize, but learns Mr. Patrick's financial advice is bankrupt.
Daphne, I'm sorry. If I had a little money, I would have said we could take a trip. But I don't want to be like the UNC government, borrowing money when the country already have a deficit.
Who told you that nonsense?
Mr. Patrick, right
Lord
here.
help us. Now you taking financial advice from Mr. Patrick? He passed and he had to pay his own mortgage. Where are you getting your health advice from? Dr. Rat?
But Mr. Patrick says so in Parliament, girl.
You know what PNM really stands for? Patrick needs money. He'll say anything to stay in power. When Mr. Patrick lost the election, the country owed almost $2 billion US. In only 5 years, the UNC government cut that by 22%. If I could get you to cut your lineman by 22%, we could go on our anniversary trip.
Lyman? But you usually one car pass a boutique without wanting to buy the whole store.
Does PNM stand for Patrick needs money? Does Keith know UNC's paying the debt, but he still owes Daphne?